morning, good morning. Happy Lionsgate portal. The blessings are on their way. I am about to travel, so I have maybe like 20 minutes or so to get a quick and dirty reading for the Lionsgate portal. And I'm here to help you build a better relationship with yourself so that you can have a better relationship with the world around you. So we're going through the peak of this Lionsgate portal, and I woke up feeling a little bit groggy because I didn't sleep that well. But I don't usually sleep well when there are transits happening anyway. I hope everybody else slept well. But yes, let's get into a quick reading for the Lionsgate portal. We've already been doing quite a few readings, preparing for this energy. But now that it's here, we gotta get one in. Okay, good morning, good morning. If you're interested in a personal reading, everything can be found in the link in my bio. If you are watching this on YouTube later on, because it will be posted on YouTube, everything can be found in the description box below. Any support that you show is so appreciated, whether it's just liking the live, subscribing to the YouTube channel, anything like that. It's so appreciated. And I pray that the abundance comes back tenfold, okay? Let's get started. Angels, ancestors, spirit guides, higher beings of light and unconditional love, divine mother, divine father, Holy Spirit, what are the best and highest messages for the collective for this magical, powerful Lionsgate portal that's happening today? Let's see. We have Destiny. Let me see, is it upright or reverse? Because it kind of came out iffy, you know what I'm saying? Spinning, it's a challenge position. I picked it up reverse, and that's how it fell out. Thank you for the follow. So we have Destiny in the reverse, so obviously there's some realigning because we need to stay on our path. And so the things that have been removed, especially, okay, so like this is number 48. That simplifies to a 12. Astrologically, throughout the wheel, that is completion. That is Pisces. That is very spiritual. But also, there's something happening to shifting your stability. A shift in your stability that is going to get you through the 8-8 portal. I feel like there's been a decreasing. We've been talking about this. Like, again, picture the number 8. Turn it to a side. And it's like decreasing, tunnel, expansion, you know? So there has been a decrease in order to get you aligned with your destiny. This definitely has affected your stability, feeling safe, feeling secure, not just like money, but it could have affected like the way that you make money, or you may be coming into a new opportunity that's more aligned with your destiny. Taurus, monetary. How does the reading stuff work? I would love to go into more detail about that with you. Not in the middle of a reading though, because I'm going to post this to YouTube, but I would love to answer that question. Maybe I'll make a TikTok video and I'll address it. So, but yes, so we go from the 48 to the 14. So there's some 4s popping out, which again are stability. It deals with, oh, thank you. Really? I'm like, I just woke up. I literally just put my hair in a clippy. But this is going to, I feel like, increase your stability, increase your, what it feels like is it increase your value system has been being reworked, because Taurus deals with values and it deals with how you acquire money. So I think also your values around what makes you feel safe, prioritizing your emotional safety, prioritizing your spiritual peace, you know, and that is shifting the way that you make money, the way that you keep yourself safe in this world, which has to do with like releasing self-betrayal, releasing connections that reflected self-betrayal. Saturn return. So we go from this red, these red colors, and we transition over to like this green color. So this is going from the root back up to the heart space. And this is you making money that in a way that is more aligned with your soul purpose, that is more aligned with your heart and what you feel passionate about. But it's taken a lot of discipline and sacrifice, it feels like. The one thing that you didn't have to sacrifice though was your heart space, which is beautiful, and that's why you're going to get the rewards that are coming to you, because you haven't changed, you haven't switched up. 12th house, like I said, is coming to a completion. I love that. I love this. So we look at the pattern, the colors. So we have this like rounded reddish brown energy. We have to tap into our solar plexus. This is this area which is our willpower, our confidence. Oh, thank you. Our confidence. And then we open up the heart space because we were willing to stand up for ourselves, right? This is affecting the way we look at the world, the way we view things, what we consider to be safe, how we keep ourselves safe, how we keep our heart space safe, how we stay aligned with our soul mission. And this is how you start to dredge up the final residue, the emotional, spiritual residue. The energetics residue is what I mean when I say spiritual, like residue. The energetics, the emotions that are like still within your field from these endings. These are like, it's like scraping out, it feels like the last of something like sticky and dirty in the bottom of a dish so that you can have like a fresh start, it feels like. Bottom of the deck, Saturn again. So we have double Saturn energy. This one says truth and this one says age. So this low-key just feels like, well, it doesn't just, I won't say that. This is going through a spiritual awakening in a way, but it also feels like your frontal lobe is developing. Like you're just not into the same things that you were into anymore. And so this portal energy is reflecting that, you know, it's like shedding the skin and going into something that's more aligned with like where you're actually trying to go. And you're looking at people and things like, is this in alignment with who I'm trying to be? Is there intention behind this? Or is this are we operating, both of us interacting with one another? Is this from an old outdated pattern that I thought that I needed to run because I thought that this thing would keep me safe? That could go for a job that you fucking hate being at, right? But you feel like you have to do it. You never saw yourself as the empowered version of yourself that you are standing in today, that could possibly leave that job, or that could possibly build your own business, or whatever that looks like for you. This could look like a person, you know, that you felt like you needed in your life. This could be a best friend. This could be a group of people. This could be, you know, it's just like what things do we use? Do we manipulate ourselves with? Gaslight ourselves into believing that we need to keep ourselves quote unquote safe, you know? So let's see, the Gemini card is popping out as well. So this is about truth as well. Like that was on the bottom of the deck before Saturn with truth. Gemini is about communication, but it's about the twins. It's the matching of the psyche. Like I said, this feels like your frontal lobe or something is developing, where it's like everything is intentional, everything is a conversation, everything is a relationship to you now, and you want high value relationships in your life. And Spirit is saying that you are now listening to the downloads that you're getting, because this is Uranus genius. It's like you have a new set of eyes to see the world through. What's going on today with this portal? I feel like there's just a freeing up of your psyche, a freeing up. It feels like new. I've been learning lately about like pathways in the brain, like neuroplasticity. And it feels like there's new pathways being developed. So this could look like a crown chakra awakening, or like I said, this is being reflected in this energetic way. So this is a spiritual awakening in a way. or you may have been going through it for the past like few months, kind of in preparation of this, because spiritual awakenings, they can happen like this. You don't want them to happen like that necessarily, because that's going to be jarring to your whole fucking world. But you may have started to see a lot of shifts happening, things being let go forcibly, or you might have just become disinterested in them, these kind of things. But it feels like there's new room, both emotionally, spiritually, and now mentally, for something else to come in that's more in alignment. So specifically, this collective, this is clarifying the Destiny card in the reverse. Crone energy. This is a very spiritually in tune collective. Crone is your destiny. You're a witchy bitch, okay? And there may have been things that you felt like you had to do. This is not, if this is in the reverse, destiny in the reverse, you weren't operating out of your magic. And the spirit is saying, no. There are people, places, things that you're doing, things that you're participating in, and you're not even seeing your true self. Like, you have very ancient wisdom within you. You know how to do things innately, but they may not fit society standards. You know, they actually challenge society standards. So when we're talking about neuroplasticity, like new pathways in the brain, this also connects with connecting your subconscious, 12th house, to your conscious, right? And that's this Gemini card, is that it's the two halves of the brain talking to one another. So there may be some memories that are coming up, or unlocking of memories of abilities, of ancient knowledge. It's like you're unlocking some things that have been stored away due to what feels like either shame or persecution. The mask. What was blocking your abundance is because you were scared to be in your purpose. There was fear around being in your purpose. There was fear around being your authentic self, because you've been programmed otherwise. It's not just about the programming in the brain though, because Taurus also deals with the body. This feels like, when I see crone energy, that is very deep, like down the line, passed down generations, lineage. You know, exactly. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Miss Autumn Jacobs, the shaming is exactly what I'm talking about in the comments. And being taught to, oops, I don't want to add those. Okay. People inserting their opinions on you when you aren't doing anything but minding your fucking business. They would rather send you their bad energy, which everybody's entitled to their own opinion and their own way of life. Do you see me imposing my way of life on you? You have the choice to tune in or not, right? You can always leave the live. That's okay. I'm still going to post this on YouTube. I'm still going to meet the people and reach the people that I need to reach. The message is going to be the message, right? But instead of understanding how that works, people are literally programmed to do the opposite as well. It's giving NPC. But this deep ancestral knowledge that or wisdom really that's passed down, you may be unlocking certain memories or subconscious. This gives like past life regression, soul integration, or soul fragment, like going back and getting a soul fragment and taking your mask off that you've learned to put on, that kept you from actually showing your power, because you were taught that being powerful is threatening, that being powerful is a sin, that being powerful and being connected to your body is shameful, that being connected to your magic is scary. And you never, like I said in the beginning of this reading, the thing about this collective is that your heart has never changed through all of this. Even through your programming, you've always been a good person. And so you never wanted to make people feel uncomfortable. You never wanted to make people feel scared of you. You definitely didn't want to be shamed, you know. So there's a removing of the mask, because Spirit is putting you in environments and around people that can see you for who you are, and not only see you, but respect you. So you've been on this pilgrimage. This feels like a journey that, again, you're going into this unknown space, taking the unbeaten path. Some people call it the left-hand path, you know, but this is led by the heart. You see this green gem? It's going into the unknown spaces, but it knows, and this is clarifying this Saturn return age card. You know that as long as you're connected to your heart, and quite honestly, you have a very strong spirit team with Saturn backing you like that. Like, Saturn's like, try it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're very connected to your spirit team, and Saturn is also a planet of karma. So you're definitely a collective that, the crazy part is, this person that commented this thing that I blocked already, they're talking about Jesus Christ is the only savior, you know, the typical things. This collective is a collective that is tapped into the gnosis, the Gnostic teachings, the esoteric teachings of Roman, the Gnostic teachings, the true gospels. And they do teach about Yeshua. They teach about the truth, right? And his teachings. And it is about leading from the heart space. It is about accepting everyone. It's about being in your authenticity and connecting to Christ consciousness. That is, the portal is through the heart. The portal is through the body, you know? So this collective understands, actually. It's actually like more so, forgive them for they do not know something, okay? Forgive them for they just be talking out their neck, okay? That's basically what it means. But really, people just be saying things that have been programmed to, like, in them, and not really taking the time to be a truth seeker. And you actually do your studies and you live by those teachings, but they can't recognize you for who you are, because they themselves wear a mask, and then you've been playing along because of fear, rightfully so. There's certain, I feel like, subconscious, we talk about like 12th house, subconscious memories, maybe even in your DNA, or even in your waking life. Since you've been here on this incarnation, you've had experiences that have taught you that that's not acceptable here. But you're not here to be acceptable. You're not here to be palatable. You are very much here to break the matrix. I love this, because the 12th house, it literally says escape. The 12th house is like the final stage, you know. It's like all the way around the astrological cycle. This is my astrology card, so this is clarifying that it's like you understand the patterns. You started paying attention to the symbols. You started paying attention, like you were like deep in getting to know yourself, deep in your self-awareness journey, deep in it. And so you understand yourself so well that you can also decode yourself. You can deprogram yourself and program yourself to be what you want to be. It's like, ooh, I just got chills. If you read the Sophia Code, I've been talking about this book for a while now. You realize that they say that there's like two types of DNA that we have. We have our, like, and this is also seen in other teachings, like even in Mary Magdalene's gospel, there's she talks about how we're we're both human and spirit, and a lot of our experiences are the reminder of our humanness, but we always need to bring ourselves back to the acceptance of our humanness, that we have both. We have like some people call it the reptilian side, and then we have our soul. And some people in the Sophia Code, they said that we have our programmed carbon-based DNA, which is our body, and then we have our crystalline Sophia consciousness, which is the divine feminine Christ consciousness that resides, it starts in the heart space. And so this is understanding that there's another aspect of yourself that can be turned on and put into the driver's seat. And you don't have to operate out of your quote-unquote carbon-based DNA, your reptilian brain, quote-unquote, your humanness, your ego, that you can ascend to you're just seeing that this shit wasn't working. Every time I follow this pattern, every time I just stay in my humanness and I'm not aware of it. Okay, I was just making sure. I got my... Good. Okay. I got a notification come in about my Uber coming in a little bit, like an hour and a half. I was like, I made a reservation a few days ago, so we should be good to go. But yes, there's a realization that after because you've studied yourself so deeply and you've allowed yourself to be in this hermit mode, you've allowed yourself to integrate these lessons, you're starting to unlock like a higher level consciousness. Exactly. You have the gift of sight now. With this higher level consciousness, you can see like the world that's interacting with this world, the spiritual world, the energetic world. You can see what's happening on a spiritual level. The birds are going crazy. So you have the gift of sight now, which is very much giving like the Eye of Horus, this the Eye of Horus. Look into that. It's giving higher level consciousness, right? And it's giving like you can see now that you've been removed again from this bullshit, and Spirit has removed you from this bullshit, and it's allowing you to tap into your spirituality and your studies. It feels like even deeper. It's like your studies, but it's not so much your studies. Bringing it back to the brain, the neuroplasticity, you're also like, you're connecting to the body in a different way than you ever have before. This feels like you're calming your nervous system down. So it's like you're not as reactive. You're able to observe, and you're paying attention to the emotions that you feel within your body. And that is kind of acting as your guidance system right now, because you understand that sensation is the way that Spirit speaks to you, because it's all energy. And so now you're able to, because you're trusting that, you're trusting yourself, you're able to see things. It's like you're turning on, you're up leveling right now. And this is going to make you very powerful. Very, 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 very powerful. Because you are starting to integrate, I feel like, boundaries. You're starting to integrate your dark aspects, because you're starting to understand what behaviors and patterns were out of this outdated pattern thinking. And so now that you're not following that pattern anymore, you're starting to understand where you gave your power away. So now you are integrating that back, and other people will try to villainize it. That's the thing. That's why they call it, this is the darker side of things. But this is you activating your solar plexus. This is you activating your sacral. If you see this, all this yellow and orange, you're stepping into this is what is actually sustainable. You're keeping yourself safe by being in your power, which people will find offensive, because you are much easier to manipulate when you weren't in your power. This is why, okay, so I posted a very really interesting reading yesterday. Well, I didn't post it on YouTube yet, but I was on here on live, and we were talking about Lilith messages, and Lilith keeps coming up a lot, like a lot, talking about shame, talking about being demonized for having desires, for pleasure, for the truth, for being in her power, and rewriting that story. What does that actually look like? How do we have those experiences ourselves? And this card came out when I was connecting with that energy yesterday with her. Up soon. But there's a commitment to being in your power that she's looking for. I think this is also a part of her story, which we'll have to go into another time in more depth. But she was the first, you know, that is her story. She was Adam's first wife. But she was demonized for wanting the stories that, you know, she didn't want to be basically dominated or treated less than. And so she, especially when it came to like sex and things like that, she wanted to be on top. Basically, she wasn't trying to like. It's metaphoric for not wanting to be dominated and wanting to be treated equally. That we both can do these things. And when, not only was she like obviously denied her divine birthright, she was also told that, like, she was also demonized. And so the ring talks about a commitment. It talks about a marriage. I feel like that is something that she wants to talk about more, but I think she's trying to get you to see that once you be in your power, once you are in your power, not be in your power, once you are in your power and you are not as easy to manipulate, people will try to make you look like the bad guy. And you have to have some thick skin. But not only, that's the thing, I saw another video yesterday that was saying, not only do you have to have thick skin, but it's not acceptable for women. We're talking about women specifically, because this is talking about a feminine wisdom as well with the crone energy, but everybody has their masculine and feminine within them. You're beginning to realize who you are. Six of Wands is about public success, but women shouldn't be expected to pretend like they are not bothered when people are slandering their name or demonizing them for being in their power. When we start to get called like, oh, she's just being a bitch, like ever since she started ever since she started you know what I'm saying? Like, because this is how we start to put on this mask, and we start to be afraid of being in our power because we want to be accepted, we want to be loved, we want to be cared about, quote unquote. But that's conditional love, you know. I saw Hood Hero say people are beefing with your potential, and you're tired of beefing with your potential. You're ready to step into your potential, right? So it may make a few people feel very uncomfortable. Okay, I need to start getting my life together. So Aquarius in the reverse, clear vision, you are right. So there was something about groups. Yes, they just felt like, oh, okay, this is again talking about the shaming thing. At one point, we talked about this the other day. At one point, tribes, Aquarius energy, collective energy, at one point shame served a purpose because we were in a tribal community. Now, because we needed certain people to follow certain aspects of you know, certain rules and things to keep everybody safe, right? Again, mixing safety, power, security, community. That served a purpose because we used to actually be in tribal spaces where there was a stronger sense of community, which created a strong root chakra, knowing that you had others that would take care of you, so that when there was somebody out of line, shame was a tactic. The tribe would turn their back on that person because then they become insecure and unstable, and they will then adhere to the rules of the tribe, which benefit everyone. It was It served a purpose. Now we live in a community or a collective that isn't community based, and we use shame as a power dynamic, and it keeps people disempowered and feeling unsafe. So Spirit is saying that where you saw through basically this tactic, or Spirit, I would say that Spirit saw through this tactic and guided you away from this, because the Hermit's in reverse. There was not wanting to be alone, but it's saying clear vision. You are right. They were giving you insight. And I don't think that it was easy for you to move away from these people, these things. Oh, see, I have one of my decks actually mixed in here. There's one card. I didn't notice that. Queen of Cups. This is the Psychic Queen. You are highly sensitive, highly emotional, and not in a bad way. Again, demonizing those words. You are very sensitive. And so some things, like your sensitivity has actually saved you from a lot of bullshit, because you couldn't exist in those spaces for too long. And your emotions allowed you to see people clearly. Your sensitivities allowed you to see people clearly, because they could put on a mask and be like, yeah, I'm your friend, but you still wouldn't feel good. You know what I'm saying? And you were overgiving. You were doing a lot of emotional labor. So this is being tapped into your emotions, being tapped in with Spirit. Interesting. Yes, so there's a fear of being accepted, or lack of acceptance. Scorpio. So rather than trying to change yourself to be accepted, you decided, I'm just going to change the people around me. I'm going to change. You can't change others, but you can change. You can't. What does it say? What does it say? You can't change people, but you can change the people around you. That's what the saying is. There's that, but also you're going through a deep transformation. So because you're changing internally right now, you're going to be attracting a whole new crowd, because you're coming into this level of self-acceptance, especially the fact that you're like, Scorpio is very, between this like Queen of Cups card, this Crone card, the Scorpio card, like that is deep water energy. I just got the chills. Like this gives me very psychic. This gives me very like tuned in. We have the Mystic card here as well, the Crone and the Mystic. You're very powerful, and I feel like people are going to start to see you for who you are. I also like this Scorpio Queen. She has her head covered, so you might have been dealing with a lot of psychic attacks as well, and you're starting to understand what that looks like and what that feels like. Because at one point, yeah, you were taking all of this emotional and spiritual energy on from other people, and it wasn't a accurate reflection of who you really were. So now you're starting to understand what that feels like, to be like emotionally, like energetically attacked, like psychic attack kind of thing. And you're understanding what things that you can do to cleanse your field, cleanse your energy. It's like you're becoming way more boundaried, you know, which is a good thing, because you were taking on a lot of shit that seems like was not yours at one point. Just be alone and develop your craft. Clarifying the Forest card. Like I said, you're going off on a journey. This collective may be going through their Saturn return, because you have the Saturn return card here. So I think there's like a year left, or maybe a little bit less, of Saturn and Pisces. So again, we have this Queen of Cups card, we have the Scorpio card, we have these very psychic cards on the table too. So like this Saturn and Pisces not only deals with the boundaries aspect, but it deals with the, you said, ooh, you're a Scorpio, see? Yes, it deals with, oh, we have Wheel of Fortune and we have New Direction. So exactly, Spirit is moving you to a new place. And they told you this, like, this was hard for you to do because you wanted to take certain people with you. I feel like you're the only one that understood what was really going on. I feel like you tried to tell people what was going on and they was looking at you crazy. Again, the shame thing. Or you were starting to change right in front of people's eyes and people didn't believe it. Something along those lines where it's like, no, this is real. I'm really who I say I am, you know? Don't focus too much on monetary issues. Focus on spirit. In the reverse. Why is that in the reverse? The Hierophant. So right now you could, like I said, you're in this liminal space. Thank you for the follow. You're in this liminal space. And it feels like Spirit is asking you to really stay boundaried up. This portal, we're not finished with it. Like I said, you're tapping into your, what feels like dark feminine. And this is where people start to, it feels like you're at the tail end of this transformation. And this is where, like, it starts to make people really feel uncomfortable because they're starting to notice, like, oh, you're really committed to that. And I'm not involved anymore and I don't benefit from that anymore. And then this is where I wouldn't say probably, but this is typically where slander starts to come in, where there are things that can throw you off of your track. And I think that this reading is more of a just insight into maybe why you're feeling things coming up that you've thought that you've moved through. You might be feeling somebody's sadness. You might be feeling like somebody's watching you, or like the evil eye kind of feeling. Spirit is saying keep yourself boundaried up, keep cleansing and clearing your field, keep connecting with your guides, ask for assistance in releasing old patterns, old people, old places, old things that are not in alignment with your highest good. They're saying that they had to move you out of this space with these people that were not being authentic, because you having a big heart, you would have shared your abundance with people that did not deserve it. And so there's a spiritual lesson in this as well. It feels like you are getting access to something that other people haven't worked on or worked for. There's codependency. They saw you before you saw yourself, and rather than empowering you to be the best version of yourself, there were pitfalls, or like it felt like booby traps, you know, for you to like be stuck in codependency, even when you were trying to break this cycle, 12th house escape, and all of the cycles, going through it over and over and over again. You were trying to break it and you weren't understanding why you couldn't break it. It wasn't all these other people, or it wasn't all your fault either. It was the dynamic between you guys and the environment that didn't support your actual growth and authenticity. The star in reverse, exactly, like codependency in the star in reverse. It was like they didn't want you to see who you really were. I think that people felt it, but they didn't. I think that you felt it also. Like you have bigger, better, greater potential, you know? You said this is very good. Yes. I mean, it feels like you're moving into a much better chapter. Okay, so this puts a lot of power in your hands. It says you always have a choice. This also could be why you avoided stepping into this for a long time. With greater power comes great responsibility, right? You have a choice. You've been having a choice. But I think that the patterns that you were operating out of made you feel like you didn't have a choice at one point. You know, that these are your people. This is my mom. This is my best friend. This is my whatever. And you kept giving your power away to other people, letting people make decisions for you. Because when you don't have to make the decision, quote unquote, you don't have to take responsibility for the consequences of that decision, or at least that's what you thought was happening, until you started to realize that I'm the one that's getting drained. I'm the one that keeps ending up places I don't want to be. like, I'm not in my power. I know my full potential. So Spirit pushed you to take more responsibility for your life, which is the Saturn return. So you're understanding the power that comes with free will. And I think also, to bring it back to the beginning of the reading, because you have a very big heart, a very open heart space, you can handle the responsibility. Whereas these other people, I don't feel that, as much. Capricorn, Saturn energy. This is you integrating your darkness, taking more responsibility for your life, sitting in the gravity of your decision making, honoring the truth and your integrity. Those aren't easy things to do in a world where the easier path is not the integral path, Earth. So you're getting grounded fast. All you need is water. So like I said, you're getting grounded. You're gonna be feeling a lot more stable. I feel like you're integrating a very important spiritual lesson. This feels like you're integrating an aspect of your darkness, quote unquote, which is like basically you are just fucking having boundaries for yourself now. It feels very like when you first start setting boundaries is when it's the most difficult. Then it becomes a standard of living, after that. But I don't think that this collective is very used to setting certain boundaries. So 10 of Cups. Once you start to experience the happiness, the emotional fulfillment for creating, again, like, look at this, is like a piece of art. For understanding your value and what you bring to the table and creating boundaries around that, you're actually going to be able to enjoy, the wide array of emotions that life has to offer. Stay focused. Remember why you started in the reverse. This feels like it was falling on the star in reverse. Libra. So things are kind of like coming back to an equilibrium. I don't really see, it doesn't feel like an equilibrium that you're used to. So it feels like new territory. And that, again, you might start feeling like you're about to enter into your 10 of Cups. You're integrating all these lessons, okay? You're escaping your subconscious. You're escaping your programming. Spirit is asking you to like be committed to this journey, right? On the flip side of it, though, the people that you are separating yourself from that have used you as that cushion, you know what I'm saying? When they're going through it, they call you because you hold such a pure heart space. Queen of Cups. Because you're so compassionate, because you're so empathetic. These people are going to be dealing with this karmic energy that Spirit moved you away from. It is your job to maintain your boundaries so that you don't get wrapped up in their karma, because you're going to take it on just like you have in the past. So this is more of, I feel like, a reminder and a warning to not allow your emotions to get the best of you and to focus on your healing. Temperance in reverse, water in reverse. Focus on your healing, your expansion. Sagittarius, so that's double Sag. So the Temperance card is Sagittarius card. And then Ace of Cups. Focus on balancing your emotions. Focus on cleansing your emotions, clearing your emotions. Temperance is also a card that deals with the angels. It's balancing, like the typical, the traditional, I can get my words out. Traditional Temperance card shows the angel pouring the red and the blue liquid, right? It's like balancing, they're alchemizing something. So really focus on, if there's any like to do that I could give you from this reading, it would be practice the energetic shielding, energetic cleansing, and alchemizing any dark energy that's sent to you, because it feels like you are starting to understand your power, and that is going to intimidate people. And because they're not in their power, all they're going to do is and you're going to feel all of that because you're highly psychic, and you're very emotionally in tune. So either block yourself off from that, cleanse and clear your field, you know, but cleanse and clear your field and work on alchemizing all of that, because you're the crone again, very, very witchy, you know what I'm saying? Alchemize that for your best and highest good. Like, start to use that to your advantage. Don't let shame and people's like negativity stop you from transforming into the best version of yourself, even if they want to call you a bitch, okay? Even if they want to say that you're crazy, that you're scary, all these things, you know. He said, thank you, you're so welcome. If you would like a personal, everything can be found in the link in my bio. If you're seeing this on YouTube, everything can be found in the description box below. I do have a free offer as well called the Venus Codes. It's a 30-minute video plus 25-page guidebook that you can download now that helps you to tap into the frequency of love and abundance. All of that can be found where everything is normally at, okay? I need to get ready for my flight. We're about to take off. I feel like that's metaphoric. Happy 8/8 portal. I hope that, you know, everything is everything for you. I'll see you later.